Folks, joining Compas on the beat are two people that Willie Buchanan, former Green Bay Packer and San Diego Charger, we're very good friends. We see each other all the time. Rolf Benirschke, he used to kick for the Chargers. Both of you guys, thank you guys so much for joining Compas. How are you guys doing today?
We are doing great.
Yes,
we're having so much fun.
So much fun to hang together and to meet you guys and hear your story. I love that. Congratulations.
Thank you guys so much. And obviously, you guys look like you're tied it to the hip. You guys, look at you guys hanging out.
We're kind of like
day.
you two. You know, we're teammates. Okay?
There you go.
And
exactly.
That's what we come to talk about.
That relationship was forged 40 years ago.
Yes, it
Think
was.
about it. It's hard to. You don't even know people 40 years ago.
No.
Well, that's the cool thing about your story, Ralph. You know, I think from what I heard, you know, your story helped out Willie and it saved his life. Can you kind of just share a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, so first of all, you know, we played together 40 years ago, and there's nothing like a locker room, right? You get to know each other like almost no other relationship. The world lived like a locker room, right? It didn't matter the color of your skin or where you're from, any of that stuff. It mattered what kind of person you were. And we built very special friendships. So some of you know I went through a bad illness when I played, and it really led me to a life of patient advocacy and patient support. And we work with medical device and pharmaceutical companies. And one of the companies we had been working with is a company in Orange County called Edwards Life Sciences. They developed a way to replace your aortic valve if you have aortic stenosis. It used to be you had to crack your chest, saw your chest, pull it apart, take your heart out, and worked, but incredibly invasive. They developed a technique where you go through the groin, up into your heart, pop a valve in, pull it out, and you walk out of the hospital the next day. Unbelievable. The challenge for them was, it's the standard of care for everything. When they looked at their patients, less than 4% were African American, and it killed them. And they wanted to do something about it. And so they came to us and said, can you help us? We need to create awareness. So we said, I think so. We did a pilot study. We invited 26 former players and their wives to come up to a screening event we put on in Orange County. We did an echocardiogram, an EKG, and measured blood pressure. And we educated the players at the same time to see if the trust, in fact, that we built would invite everybody. Willie came, and I'll let him take the story from there.
And the educational factor would save me because we came to the study on a Saturday, and on that next Wednesday, I had a stroke. Because of the study and because of the screenings and because of the things that we went through, I learned what the symptoms were for getting a stroke. So, you know, you have to really realize, you know, where you are, what you're looking at when that's happening. Because as a former athlete, you didn't care about pain. You know, you try to work through pain, or you don't want to go to the doctors. You live with your injuries. You know, we did it all through football, but because I recognize the symptoms, and we call the symptoms FAST.
There's an acronym FAST. F stands for face. If your face starts to droop, I'll help your listeners. If your face starts to droop, you're looking at somebody sideways, that's a symptom they might be having a stroke. The A is
for arm.
If you have pain or tightness in your arm, which is what Willie did. He was putting a suitcase up in a closet, pain in his arm, lightheaded, almost passed out. He goes, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Something's going on.
So that's the A. The S is speech. You slur your speech a little bit and you don't know it.
T is tongue.
T is time.
Time?
Time.
Oh, I thought it was tongue.
But
Yeah.
S and tongue would be similar. But T is time.
T is time. And because of the time factor, because if you get to the hospital in time for them to inject which I did, this is called TPA. When I got to the hospital, they were able to diagnose it, shot me up, and it cleared the blockage in the left side of my
Dissolves
brain.
the blockage. But had he not recognized the symptoms, Will is either dead or severely paralyzed.
Paralyzed or injured some way, fashion or form. And I came out, I like to say I'm 99% healthy, and I was blessed.
It was
To be
unbelievable.
able to go to this event and get educated. And so that's where we are right now. We're trying to educate our brothers and our sisters, males, females, people our age, as to the awareness of heart conditioning.
It's the leading cause of death. It's the leading cause of death, men and women. But it's more prevalent in African Americans than in white people. We have to do something. So we ended up doing 9 events we screened 500 players and their wives. And at every event, we had to take somebody to the emergency room because they were diagnosed right there in the screening with something they didn't know they had. Uncontrolled high blood pressure, heart condition that had to be taken care of. We did an event here in Phoenix. We found a guy that had an aortic aneurysm. Literally, his aorta is leaking. He's going to die in a week, a month of sudden death. We started looking at our teammates. We have no black offensive or defensive linemen left alive from when we played. Dead of things that are preventable if they're aware of them. And so it's become a crusade for us, a mission for the NFL alumni health to start raising awareness of heart issues, stroke, and heart attack. So we appreciate being on.
Yeah, Gilbert, and I'm from San Diego. The name Rolf Benirschke is known all over San Diego because of this and because of all the great work that you do in the community, your blood drive, all these different things that you've done in the past. And can you just talk about that and how because of what happened to you, you wanted to get involved and help others?
You know, I think we may all have a design for our life, and then things happen and your design is thrown out of the window. I believe in the Lord. When I went through my illness, got sick, I should have died. I really should have died. I had a near-death experience with the Lord in the hospital, same hospital my dad was working. I was septic. My organs were shutting down. I should have died, and I didn't die. I got a second chance to live, and I got a second chance to play, and you live your life differently then as a result. Every day is a gift. Friendships are precious. And you got a purpose. I got a purpose for my life that became real and a passion to use the platform that we have to deflect attention to things that are important to us. And for us, it's health. And
for me, it was, my pastor said it wasn't my time. You know, God had blessed me and says, it says, greater works will you do. And so since we have a purpose, Rolf and I definitely have a purpose in mind to work on. That's what we're here on this earth to do. We want to educate. We want to get all the relationships and people that we know and get them involved.
And what we found out, it's not just us. When we started doing this study, the Huddle study, which is going to be published here shortly, it'll demonstrate the impact and the prevalency of heart disease, is the players that we got to screen who kind of first came in with their arms crossed, what is this all about? But they came because they were asked by their brothers, our NFL brethren. They left going, oh my gosh, we need to tell our families, our communities, people we care about what fast means. And we have to own the responsibility to go get checked, to have your mammograms, your prostate, your colorectal screening. And we think we should have heart screening, which currently is not out there. So that's the mission we're on.
And then the one important thing about the huddle was we invited wives.
Yeah.
With the wives there, you know, they were able to, because my wife beat me up after that. They were able to tell the story. I mean, because they know things and see things that we don't see. So they were educated.
If you think about the NFL, what made Willie great, and I can't
smile.
Well, that too, because I'm not a. I mean, he's a player. I'm a kicker. Totally different, right? So
you know, there was offense and defense, and then there was kicking.
So with those guys, if they hurt themselves, right, they tape it up tighter, rub a little dirt on it, and go back out. For two reasons. They didn't want to let their teammates down. And the second was they didn't want to get out the field because somebody go take their job, right?
Yeah.
So that's fine for football, but it's not fine for health. And this is where the wives came in. Oh, I'll just brush it off. It's not a big deal. It's probably something I ate. No. Your body is trying to tell you something. You have to listen. And that's what happened to Willie. He listened, and his wife made sure he listened.
Yep.
Rolf and Willie, the cool thing about you guys, you know, you could easily be at home relaxing or playing golf, but you're out here trying to, you know, spread the word and get people to get screened. And just the cool thing about it is, like you mentioned, players were like, why are we here? You know, this is kind of boring. Why do we have to learn about it? But then you two guys have this chemistry and this infectious smile and joy. Like, hey, do it. I love life. And, you know, Willie, I'll ask you this question because you're in the Hall of Fame for the Packers, and that's prestigious and that decorated history for Green Bay. But for you, I'm guessing for you, it's your pride is being joyful and having life, and I can just see that about you.
Oh, that's what life is, you know. Like I said, I enjoy what God has given me and the ability He gave me, And so I just want to make sure I pass that on. I still coach track at my high school, so I work with kids. I try to instill in kids these types of ideas and tell them there's a purpose in life for each and every one of them. All they have to do is find it, and my job is to help them find it.
This guy's a legend. I mean, he's a legend. You don't know the story, but when we played against the Packers, when I was with the Chargers, he intercepted Dan Fouts 4 times in a game. Still an NFL record. We traded for him the next year. It got Coach Tommy Prothro fired, and that's how we became teammates.
And my college coach, Don Coryell, became
the head
coach there, who I believe will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
Finally.
We better be.
He better be in that number.
Yeah.
It's taken too long.
Yes.
The game that the way it's played today, it's all Eric Coryell.
It is.
But people say, but the problem is you have, I won't say anything derogatory, but you have people who just look at the record and don't look at the impact.
No, the impact was amazing.
Yes.
You know,
without Kellen Winslow, there's no Travis Kelce.
You got it.
No Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Gates.
You got it.
I mean, we all know. How
you know, it's like a lot of things in life. I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. You don't have a perspective when you're going through something. You're just doing your job. So when we were playing for Coryell, we had no idea he was redefining offensive football. We were just trying to do our job. Now we look back, 40 years later, and go, oh my gosh, we had the privilege of playing with Willie Buchanan and Kellen Winslow and Dan Fouts and Charlie Joyner. These are Hall of Famers, and great guys.
Yeah, I knew that out of college.
You did, huh?
I watched Don Coryell, the system that he had. We had a 185-pound tight end that just flexed like what Kellen would do and did the same thing. And Coryell just threw the ball. Eric Coryell was in college.
Interesting.
And we've always had great quarterbacks, great wide receivers, and those types of things. And he just put the ball in the air. He defined the West Coast offense.
As former players, how impressed are you with the way athletes are today? Guys like Travis Kelce, who are 250, 260, but run almost as fast as receivers. I mean, just some of these players that you see today, like they just seem like it looks like the guys.
I'm going to tell you a couple of things because, number one, the game has changed to the point where these guys are running free down the field. Okay, they know they can't get hit like they used to get hit. Okay, that's number one. But there are such great athletes. That's what you're talking about.
Well, and how do they get that? So when we play, we didn't make a dime. Most of us worked in the off season, right? We just didn't make any money. Now these guys are privileged that they make enough money. They can have their own strength coach, their own nutritionist, their own. So they are trained in such a higher standard than we were. So their athletic ability gets to come out. It's remarkable to see. I mean, I look at these kickers. They kick the ball far.
I know it.
Justin Tucker.
And he should. He deserves it. But it's become so. Let me respond to so kickers back when I played were the specialists. Now you have guys who just are snappers. That's all they do. So the ball comes back there exactly the same way every time. Makes a huge difference to a kicker as opposed to the guy that's trying to catch a snap because the guy that was snapping was just the guy that the coach put in and just said, you can throw it back there. You be the. So there's benefits all around, but the game is played at such an extraordinarily high level now.
Yes.
Rolf and Willie, we're reporters, we're writers, but I keep telling Fernando, we got to be long snappers. We need a job in the NFL to make it there.
Those guys make almost $2 million.
So, you got to be specialists too.
Everybody in high school, if you want longevity in the league, long snapper or a kicker
or backup quarterback.
Yeah,
you're right.
That's a good one too.
There's a lot of guys. Rolf, you had to have knocked somebody out when you were kickoff.
No, he didn't.
Well,
no, he didn't.
I got run over a couple times. And qualified as a tackle. The players would run over. You okay, Rolf? But a couple.
Well, Rolf and Willie, before I let you guys go, is it okay to put you on the spot? Super Bowl 57, Chiefs, Eagles. Can we get predictions for both of you guys?
Well, you go first, big guy. You know what?
Team of destiny.
I'm an AFC fan. I'm going to go with
Team
Patrick.
of destiny. I played in both AF and NFL.
Team
of destiny.
Best friends, but they have difference of opinion. That's what makes them best friends. Rolf and Willie, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you guys so much.
Thanks.
And I hope you guys continue doing that great work and helping people elongate their lives.
Great.
Because and keep smiling, Willie. You keep smiling.
You should. FAST. FAST. Face, arm, speech, time. respond quickly. Appreciate you guys.
Thank
Keep up
you.
the good work. Thanks.
All right.